WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start the clock on our first 6 minutes of news, and we begin with new details on the massive industrial fire in Michigan that had emergency crews telling people to close their doors and windows. It happened at the RCO Engineering building in Roseville just after 10 o'clock yesterday morning. Take a look at this video. Because the building contained a lot of chemicals, Macomb County Emergency Management issued an emergency notice to shelter in place. A hazmat crew determined there was no chemical danger to the public, and the shelter in place was lifted that afternoon. But the search for the cause of this fire continues.
This building is an old building, and it fell under old ordinances where there wasn't any need for sprinkler systems at that time. So due to no sprinkler systems, and I believe the material that was in the building, the fire spread very, very quickly.
There were no reports of injuries to any of the RCO employees or firefighters. In Grand Rapids, the jury for the murder trial against a former police officer has now been selected. Christopher Schur is charged with second-degree murder for killing Patrick Lyoya in 2022 during a traffic stop that became a physical struggle. There are 12 jurors and 2 alternates. They include 4 men and 10 women. The trial is expected to begin on Monday. Schur's attorneys say the former police officer acted in self-defense. New Jersey officials say firefighters helped avert a major disaster as a large wildfire in the state continues to burn. As of this morning, the fire burned more than 11,000 acres and was 30% contained. The New Jersey Forest Fire Service says flames started up Tuesday in a forest wildlife management area about 55 miles from Philadelphia. Well, take a look at this. In Kansas, a highway patrol officer was on a separate call when a driver suddenly flipped an SUV in front of him. It happened last week, but the video was just released. Officials say the driver was not hurt in this crash. And in Oregon, a tractor trailer was caught on state police video flipping over. This happened last week as well. State police say that sharp curve is a frequent trouble spot. The truck was carrying 75,000 pounds of paper rolls, and they say probably driving too fast for the 60-mile-per-hour limit there. Some global news now. People in Istanbul are recovering after a 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit the city and surrounding area just before 7 o'clock this morning. There were no reported deaths, but officials say about 150 people were injured, mostly in the panic to get out of buildings. Palestinian media is reporting tonight that the Israeli military attacked a school that was turned into a shelter, killing at least 23 people staying there. This comes as Arab mediators worked on a proposal to end the war between Israel and Hamas that would include a 5 to 7 year truce. Staying in the Middle East, Palestinian Christians in the West Bank city of Bethlehem are among those mourning the death of Pope Francis. The leader of the Catholic Church died Monday at the age of 88. In his last public appearance on Easter Sunday, once again, the Pope called for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
He gave us a big hope. He told us that you are not alone. You have to resist, because Bethlehem, we are all, as a Christian, was born in Bethlehem.
Christians live in the overwhelmingly Muslim Gaza. Pope Francis made nightly calls to the territory's lone Catholic Church to see how people huddling there were coping with the war. And off the coast of Israel in the Mediterranean Sea, police are searching the coast for a swimmer who they think might have been attacked by a shark. Dusky and sandbar sharks often gather in this area, and swimming is not allowed, but conservation groups want more to be done to separate people from the animals. Back here in Michigan, a federal judge just ordered the Department of Homeland Security to put a group of Western Michigan University international students back into a database that tracks their status. Judge Jane Beckering issued a temporary restraining order today against DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. The 3 WMU students are part of a group of 10 in Michigan that filed the lawsuit, saying the government wrongly terminated their status in the database. Another hearing is expected in May. In Lansing now, Democratic State Representative Reggie Miller is speaking out against other states dumping waste here in Michigan. She introduced legislation to block radioactive waste from being moved here from New York.
Look, I'm not here just as a legislator. I'm here for the voice of my community. The bills we are introducing today come directly from the concerns I've heard again and again from the people that I represent in my district.
Proposed legislation will also raise landfill tipping fees in Michigan. Well, the search, believe it or not, is now on for the next Christmas tree that will stand in front of the state capitol building this holiday season. The tree is officially chosen by the Michigan Department of Technology, Management and Budget. To nominate a tree by the August 18th deadline, you can email the address on your screen. That's christmastree@michigan.gov. And speaking of Christmas, the famous Rockettes of New York's Radio City Music Hall held open call auditions for the 2025 Christmas Spectacular. Dancers are being considered to either join the Rockettes line or attend a dancer development program. And taking a bite out of our first 6 minutes of news. For the first time, researchers have captured on video wild chimpanzees eating and sharing a type of alcoholic fruit in West Africa. A team from the University of Exeter showed the chimps enjoying fermented African breadfruit. They say chimps don't always share food, so this raises questions about social development around feasting and alcohol. You know, sometimes you have to get together, you got to debrief, you just want to, you know,
all mixing in there.
Just relax.
Dealing with the family issues. Always needing a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute though.
Yeah. I mean, I love the videos of even squirrels eating boozy fruits or something and they're all like wobbling. It's so funny. Yeah. Oh. But we're going to see some very nice weather over the next couple of days. So hopefully you guys can get out and enjoy it. Rain does return though, and all those details coming up.
All right. That's right after the break.